Hello, Tiger families. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. This slide says, Welcome to the LSU Tiger family. And this is just one more time for us to say how excited we are to have you as a part of the Tiger family. And thank you for being here to help support your student. I want to give you a warm welcome on behalf of LSU Parent and Family Programs. My name is Lindsay McCrory Kelly, and I have the privilege of serving you. I know I got to meet so many of you during our recent family weekend. We had a blast with you, and I'm excited that so many of you are joining us tonight because you were interested in taking those next steps to getting involved. Family engagement is absolutely crucial. You have heard me talk about it time and time again, that research shows that families who are engaged and involved have students who are more successful. And so I know that many of you have already joined the Family Association. So you've taken that first step to getting involved. Thank you. Thank you so much. And tonight, what we want to do is we want to dive into what the LSU Family Council is. I want you to learn everything there is to know about the LSU Family Council. I want you to have the opportunity to meet some of our council members and hear from our current council chairs, their perspective. What is it like being on the Family Council? What are the opportunities? What's your role? What is our purpose? What is our mission? And then we're going to give you an opportunity to ask us questions tonight. I want to make sure this is a really helpful platform and an opportunity for you to get all of your questions answered. So thank you again for joining us. Now, before I jump into, who we are, I want to introduce just a few members of our team or go over that. So once again, I'm Lindsay, so excited. I know I've had the pleasure of meeting many of you, and I have not met you yet. I look forward to it. I love what I do. I'm an LSU alum myself, and I've been working in parent-family programs for the last 8 years. And so I oversee everything for LSU families, including parent and family programs, the Family Association, and Family Council. And I love our Family Council, particularly because it's a really small group of families who serve as the advisory board for our office. And we really get to build an even closer connection with our Family Council members. Now, also joining us on our team, we have Allie Bordelon McManus. She is our new coordinator for parent family programs. So when you call the office, when you email us, when you see us at events, you're likely to also get to interact with Allie if you haven't done so yet. And then also in a supporting role, we have 2 members of the Division of Student Affairs who we report to. First is our Vice President for Student Affairs, Dr. Brandon Common. Many of you may have met him through our Welcome Week activities, maybe during move-in, you saw him in the move-in lot. And then also most recently, if you were at our jazz brunches, you may have had the opportunity to meet Dr. Common. He understands the value that families have and that critical partnership with families supporting their tigers. And he is very critical and very involved with our family council members as a university administrator, truly hearing your ideas and gathering your feedback. And then lastly, we have Emily Hester as our Chief of Staff for Student Affairs that you'll also engage with throughout your time as a parent and family member. So I know we're here tonight to talk about Family Council, but I know that some of you may not have joined the Family Association yet. And so I wanted to make sure that I briefly covered the Family Association because in order to apply for the LSU Family Council, you do have to join the Family Association first. And so if you have not yet heard of the Family Association, there are so many wonderful benefits to being a member of this. And it's your first step to getting involved. This is step 1, join the Family Association. It's super easy to do, and there are so many benefits. You can see all the pictures on the screen of families at events that we host throughout the year. Some of them most recently at our family weekend that we hosted. We had a great time on campus. And so Family Association members are an involved and engaged network of families who want a little extra information about what's happening at LSU and taking advantage of some really great benefits. We host special events for our families like our Spring Family Fling, and I'll show you some pictures of that now. We don't have the date set for Spring Family Fling 2025 yet, but stay tuned. They are coming soon. And so Spring Family Fling is an exclusive event just for our Family Association members. Our Family Association members also have the opportunity for your tiger to apply for a Family Association scholarship through our office. That process will also happen in the spring of 2025. You get some discounts at, local places such as the Barnes and Noble at LSU bookstore. You get 10% off when you join the family association. You also get 10% off at the Cook Hotel, which is our on-campus hotel. And there are lots of involvement and networking opportunities. So essentially, Lindsay, I oversee all of Parent and Family programs. So that's helping provide resources for all LSU families, approximately 35,000 families. And then if you join the Family Association, there are about 6,000 members of the Family Association. So you get some extra benefits, extra communication and support when you join the Family Association. And then let's dial it down to the most involved you can be, which we're going to talk about tonight, is the Family Council. And we have about 60 to 65 members of the Family Council. So they truly are the voice of our Tiger families and the liaison between our office and our Family Association members. So Family Association is so easy to join. If you have not done so yet, it's a $150 donation. That's a one-time donation that lasts throughout your student's entire time at LSU, and it is a donation because we use it right back into programming for our Tiger families, for things like our Celebrate First Gen Week and providing extra support and resources for students throughout the year and all the programming that we do. And so you can join today if you haven't done so yet, lsu.edu/join. And I want to say it one more time, this is great because it's just a one-time donation. The Family Association membership is good throughout your student's entire time at LSU. So I think I gave you a good recap of the Family Association, but absolutely, if you have any questions, go ahead and put those in the chat or the Q&A. I'll share our contact information end of this. If you want to set up some time to meet one-on-one to discuss further, we can absolutely do that with you too. But I want to dive into why we are really all here tonight, and that is to talk about the LSU Family Council. I love the Family Council, and I truly appreciate the hard work and all of the efforts that they do to help provide a better experience for our LSU families and for our Tigers. And so they have a really crucial role in partnering with our office. And it's a really great opportunity. When you join the Family Council and when you apply for that, it really serves as a resource to enhance the LSU experience. It offers a way for our members on the council to take an active role in planning and organizing events and really enhancing the university experience, providing valuable feedback for our university administrators, connecting with other Tiger families, and then also you can share in special experiences with your student when you are part of the Family Council. So I am thrilled to turn it over to our Family Council chairs. We are joined tonight by Mike and Elaine Dowdle. They have been our chairs. This is their second year as chairs, and so they'll share more information about who the Family Council is and the roles that we play.
Good evening, everybody. We are Michael and Elaine Dowdle. We come from Cherry Hill, New Jersey, which is about 15 minutes east of Philadelphia. So literally it's just a bridge that connects New Jersey to Pennsylvania. Our Tiger is Tiernan. She is a senior. So we've been on the council for 4 years, and we cannot believe how fast those 4 years have gone. So why did we join? Originally, my husband, he really loved Louisiana. So he wanted to get there as often as he could. And when he found out that Family Council was so involved and gave him an opportunity to be down there, he kind of jumped at that chance. We've always been involved in our children's lives, and Tiernan is our youngest out of our 3 daughters. And so this was a chance to be a part of it, to understand LSU. We sent her that many miles away. So this kind of gave us a little bit of an easy feeling to go down there, to meet with staff, with deans, with every amazing person that is part of LSU, and have had an amazing time. So let's see, what shall we share with them today, Michael Dean?
Well, I guess we'll start with the objectives. So what's the purpose of Family Council? I mean, I guess if you're wondering, this is, again, a more involved group that we are the voice of all of the families of LSU. So when the Tigers are talking, they're sharing information and feedback, we gather that up and share that with the administration. And the whole objective is to make the lives better for Tigers. We do that in several ways. We'll talk about that in a minute. But from the objectives perspective, we are that voice where we collect that information. We're the representatives for the Family Association with Student Affairs. So again, we communicate those views back and forth, and we become educated on everything LSU so that we can then go out and basically evangelize the university. So we do a number of events, and again, we'll talk about some of those in a minute, but we will go around basically the country. I've been everywhere from Boston down to Atlanta. Just fortunate or unfortunate to have to travel for work, but it's coincided with LSU events that I have attended, and I've been able to talk to probably hundreds of families that are considering sending their children out. And that's what we look for the Family Council to do as well. So talk to families and get them excited about LSU, explain what their Tigers went through, and communicate that and share it. And one other piece that we'll do is assisting with basically fundraising and also objectives of the council. So we'll have ways that we give back to LSU to make things better for students. And we'll specifically cover those in a minute. But, why don't you talk about that?
Okay. So expectations. It is a 2-year appointment, but if you have a tiger and then another tiger comes behind that tiger and then another tiger comes behind that tiger, you can continue being on the Family Council.
That's you, Camille, right? We're talking to you because you have like 6 children coming through, I think.
We also have 2 in-person meetings annually. We just had our Family Fall Weekend, which was wonderful, thanks to Lindsay and everybody on the staff. And then we also have that Spring Family Fling, where we do our crawfish boil, we watch baseball, try and get basketball games in, and it's a smaller affair in the spring. So then we also have virtual meetings in the summer and the winter. Winter is usually in January, summer is usually in August or end of July. Our expectations are that you at least attend or be in person or Zoom on 3 of those events, okay? What else do we want to do?
Just to reiterate, it is a 2-year appointment, but as I think Lindsay mentioned, you can continue as long as you have children at the university. So if you're there for 6 years, we've had some kids who are super seniors and the families continue to participate in the council throughout their tenure. You don't have to leave after 2 years.
Okay. So the next set of expectations is what we do is we gain a lot of knowledge. We meet with wonderful people, even from maintenance, from the provost to, we had a dairy store visit. So what we're trying to do is kind of get a little bit of taste, a little bit of LSU, a taste of it, so that when we go to families at events, we have some resources in our arsenal to be able to articulate what LSU has to offer. So those events include like regional recruitment events. In the fall, it's heavy for high school events. So we can connect you with your local high school or somewhere in the region so that you can spread the love about LSU. We also have in the spring, we have Admitted Students Day. We have orientations on the go, and we have senior send-offs. And those we would love for each, or if you can, in every region of the country to have a Family Council member represented. The other expectation is we do provide an annual leadership gift of $1,000 a year or more, and we have to serve, and you have to serve on at least 1 committee. The annual leadership gift goes towards our gifts for the schools, which we'll share with you in the committees.
Okay, so I'll talk about the committees. There are 2 right now, and both of these, or you can be on both or one. I'm sorry, there are 3. She's
Yes.
correcting me. There are 3. The first one is the Scholarship Fund. The Scholarship Fund is basically for students of LSU, and it is fairly simple process. You write 2 essays. This isn't, you're writing hours and hours or days and days of preparation, and it's done both need and academic oblivious, right? So you write an essay, answer the essay, and they're voted on in that way. But we, as the Family Council, will review these applications for scholarship, and then we select which ones we want to vote forward or fund, essentially. So that's one of the committees. The second committee is the Campus Collaboration Grant Committee. This one I've been very involved with. I sincerely enjoy this one quite a bit. So we donate money that comes from the Family Council, from other alumni associations, and we decide how that donated money is allocated. To give you some examples of what we've done, we did one called the Tailored Tiger. And the purpose of this was to build basically a boutique store for people, students, tigers, who may not have the financial resources or the background to prepare for interviews or business attire. And so they basically will provide the tigers with business attire, which they get both donated from local sources and from individuals, and they use that for their interviews. So that was one that we did. Another one was the international students, we call it a thrift shop, but essentially at the end of every semester, definitely the end of the year, a lot of students, especially out of state, leave Louisiana and they leave behind a lot of functional items, right? Dishware, fans, anything you can imagine. And that is collected in each dorm, and then it is donated to the international students. So when they come, because many times they can only come with 2 suitcases, they don't have to then immediately go to Target or Walmart and buy all these things. They can get quality, checked over, donated goods. So those are some of the initiatives that we funded, and by funding them, they were able to continue year after year, right? It's not an annual funding that we have to do. We get them set up in a space, a shop. They needed tables, lighting, presentation areas. And so we basically will review each of the applications from multiple different parts of the university, and we will vote on them as a council, and then we will announce the funding. So I sincerely enjoy that one. The third is the Silent Auction Committee, and this one is essentially a funding mechanism to support some of the other donations. So we will use this so think of the hurricanes that have hit the Southeast in a way. We can come up with emergency funding for students that may have no other method to pay for funding. Like I need 1 or 2 months of apartment rent because, literally my parents lost their house and we're struggling right now. So students will make an application for these. We will opt to fund them, and they're funded through initiatives like the Silent Auction Committee, right? So those are the 3 committees we have. And again, we encourage everybody to join one, but you're not restricted to just one. If you want to participate more, you can. Just to be clear, this isn't like a full-time job either. You're not doing tens of thousands of these a month where you have to review through, right? This is broken down and spread across the entire council generally, so it's a very manageable workload. Each of these, when we're reviewing them, we might review between 3 and 6 applications. So it's not, again, an undue burden, just to put your mind at ease.
Okay. So why join? Really, it is, when we joined, it was kind of faith that we got in there. But once we sat down, we interacted with all the council members, we become a really close-knit family. And it's amazing because we look forward to coming in, seeing everybody at the socials, and just hugging everybody and catching up, seeing what happened in the last 3 or 4 months during the summer, how everybody's tiger is doing. It is getting the perspective from administration so that we know what to say when we're out in the engagements. It is, I don't know, it's just an amazing feeling when you go down there and that we're all rowing towards the same objective, basically. Michael?
Yeah, I'll give a little more on that. I wanted to join because when I first visited campus, we weren't allowed to travel much, and so I fell in love with campus, and I wanted more reasons to go there. Being in the Northeast, it's a little chilly. I don't mind going to Baton Rouge anytime it's sunny and 75. Sometimes it's sunny and 95, but I'll take that over snowy. So that and a chance to interact with our daughter, right, where she couldn't refuse. Hey, we have to come. It's required for family council, honey. You'll just have to see us. But sincerely, I enjoyed over the last 4 years the ability to give back, and I go all over the country and all over the world sometimes, and you'll have some LSU gear on and you'll get somebody screaming at you, "Go Tigers," right? Yeah, go Tigers, right? So that family, that community, being able to evangelize it and share what LSU did for our daughter, because we took a leap of faith in going to Louisiana. It's a long distance from here, and we could not be happier with how she's thrived in the environment. So I sincerely enjoy sharing that with families, and just again, the community, the family, the friends that we've made through the Family Council.
And also, one of our socials this in November is our first Family Council tailgate, which I am organizing, and it is November 9th, and we get to do it against Alabama. So it is so exciting. We have a tent right in front of PFT. It's going to be catered. We have comfortable seating, a TV, and it's just time to kind of get to know each other on the socials and enjoy everything that LSU has to offer. Oh, we forgot to tell you earlier. Tiernan, our tiger, is a computer engineer and a math major, and she is just thriving. And we couldn't be any more pleased with LSU than we are. And going from here, we'd like to introduce some of our other family council members that are on. Hi, guys. And we're first going to start with Dana Evans, and she's going to introduce herself and her tiger here.
Hello, everyone. As Elaine said, I'm Dana Evans, originally born and raised in Washington, D.C., currently live in Burtonsville, Maryland. My tiger is Malachi. He is a senior and he's a kinesiology pre-physical therapy major. And I can't believe how fast the years have gone. I came in with Mike and Elaine. So it's been a wonderful, wonderful ride, a wonderful ride. And LSU was the absolute best choice for Malachi. I joined Parent Council because to me, it was an extension of the PTA. So I know that I would be able to be involved and not only advocate for Malachi, but advocate for the other Tigers who may not have a voice and whose parents or guardians may not have the opportunity for a variety of reasons to serve in a capacity. So I see it for myself as an advocacy position. Yes, we have access to leadership and we have access to various entities within the campus to be a resource for parents. And I don't take that lightly. And being in the DMV, I have been able to participate in a lot of the bingo bound orientations, the LSU on the go, as well as some of the admitted students events. And I've been able to meet some wonderful parents and families from around the DC, Maryland, and Virginia area and be able to give them a little help put their mind at ease because it is far away. And being able to maneuver and understand the logistics has been very fulfilling. I also serve as the liaison for the student health advisory committee. So I meet with the director of student health, and that encompasses both medical, mental health, as well as anything from our Lighthouse program, which supports student survivors of various types of trauma events, as well as just navigating insurance, because depending on people's circumstances, insurance coverage may be state-based versus accepted nationwide. So it's been a wonderful opportunity. I've met some wonderful families and made some lifelong friends. So.
All right, next up from Houston is Roxanne Backus.
Hello, Tiger families. I am on. Yes, Doddle. Sorry, I was jumping on late. I do not have my camera on. I am driving, but that's just the flexibility that Lindsay and her team give us. We are in our senior year. Our daughter is a psych major, and the Doddles covered so much of what family council is about. For me, and why I chose for my husband and I to sign up was to be a resource for Tigers that maybe don't have the resources available to them outside of LSU. I think sometimes there are families that take for granted that we have access to resources that some of our first gen college students may not have. And I just think that overall, Lindsay's office was a great space to merge first generation Tigers or to merge just your Tigers with other families and for parents to feel like they're involved and to also understand and be that liaison between the parents and the students, especially as your kids are going out and they're not at home anymore. So the family association has really been a good stepping stone, if you will, into your child morphing into that adulthood and that independent lifestyle that they're now having. So I find that her office is great for that. Family Council is extremely beneficial whenever it comes to all things philanthropic, which I love. It's a really big push among the Family Council. And to the Doddle's point, it's not something that is time consuming, like being a Girl Scout troop leader. Yep, did that for 7 years. But it's definitely, you give as much as you want, and it's so fulfilling to know that you're helping a university to give back. Like it's not just about the basketball games and the football games, and that's so much fun. But I keep continue to stress to the parents that it's about giving back to these students and teaching them what the world is like and what it really works like. And I think that that's an important aspect to teach our kids. And so we try to teach the students that through the Family Council the best that we can. And my final note as to why I think Family Council is such a great organization is that we do a really good job as a whole pulling our resources from all over the country. We're all in different places. We are all in different careers. So our resource pool is phenomenal for the students and the families. And it's just something that if you're wanting and able to give back to students and to the university with resources that you also have, it's a great organization to get involved in.
Okay, thank you, Roxanne. Next up, we have Eric.
Our neighbors to the north.
Yeah, our neighbors to the north, far up.
Hi, good evening, everybody, and good afternoon, depending on where you're zooming from. As Michael and Elaine said, I'm about 2.5 hours, maybe 3, depending on traffic, north of Elaine and Michael, and we're in a little town called Harding, just outside Morristown or New Vernon. Our son is Gideon, and he is just entering into his sophomore year as a Tiger, and my wife Montserrat couldn't join us. She's working late tonight, but she's also a member of the Family Council. We joined because we wanted to stay connected and involved in our son's life. As we've gotten older and we've evolved and matured in our lives, we realize the importance of always giving back. And I also, as a father and a patriarch of the family, I want to set an example as a role model to our son when he eventually has a family on to do hopefully these type of things with his children's life. So I will tell you, I just recently completed a year on the council. So just like you guys, I zoomed in last year and found out more about it, both on campus, and then we followed up on one of the LSU family events that took place in Manhattan. They were great at answering questions and easing our minds about entering into this college life. So briefly, in this year, I've learned through the council all types of events from campus security to campus lighting to landscaping. You may not realize it, but a lot of thought goes into that. As we all know, Louisiana can get very hot and muggy and humid. For example, just where to put the trees on campus so the kids have shade as they walk to and from. Other issues such as campus housing, as was mentioned before by one of our council members, both mental health and addiction issues, scholarships, international exchange programs. And it's awesome because we've gotten to listen to various deans from LSU that we've met personally at our meetings, and we've gotten to speak to. For example, one of these last meetings, we discussed once again about the lighting on campus. My wife and I love to walk. Both last year and this year, we've literally walked every square yard or foot of the campus, both during the day and at evening. So my wife has ideas and suggestions that she's going to follow up with one of the deans about certain areas that could be improved and other areas that are great. All of that aside, what was mentioned before, it's a commitment. it's not overwhelming. It's not overbearing. It's actually very manageable. I know how you all feel out there. There's a lot of information, a lot of words, a lot of names, but it's very manageable. And because of the council, I've learned so much about LSU life, the students, and just all aspects that I don't necessarily think or know if other families who don't get involved in this probably they're not aware of at this level that we're talking about. And then, as was mentioned too, we do actually do nice events, such we have luncheons, we've gone bowling, we've gone out to restaurants, we've had tours. In my year, which was pretty cool. I didn't know what to expect. We had a tour of LSU Tiger football stadium. We got down into the bowels of the stadium. We got to tour the locker room. There's actually for lack of a better term, a museum where you actually see every single NFL team represented, and every LSU athlete, student athlete that has gotten recruited and or taken on by an NFL team. Every single team is represented. We got to touch what's called the win bar, which is a piece of the field goal, and the players as they go out to every game, home game, they touch the win bar for good luck. And then we got to go out on the field and take pictures, and it was just an awesome experience. And then most recently, as I mentioned before, we got to tour the dairy factory. Yes, LSU has a dairy factory. My wife is a veterinarian. And then the individual who presented it is in agriculture and a farmer. So we learned everything from what the cows eat, how they process the milk, all the dairy products, all the way through to making milk, ice cream, cheese, et cetera, et cetera. And I was just mentioning to other council members and my wife, if I had these type of opportunities, because your student will be allowed to come on these tours that Lindsay and the chair has set up for us to see what's out there, because obviously we all know college is an experience and you want to hopefully open up your mind to all the things that are available to you. And I can't say enough about how Lindsay and the other members, our chairs, have really gone out of their way to make everything hospitable. I call it the Southern charm. It really is warming and embracing. And they made me and my family and my son feel really a great part of not only the council, but LSU and the community and the family. It's probably, besides sending our kid to LSU, it's probably the best decision that I made. And I'm not giving you a speech. No one told me to say that. I really genuinely feel that way. And now that you guys are checking it out, hopefully you'll make the plunge and join, because it really is a great organization. It's a great way to stay in touch, and it's a great way to be involved and give back to the community. And as was said multiple times tonight, have a say in the issues that affect all of our children's life, all of our students' life, and all the student body and LSU families. So hopefully we'll see a lot of you join, and we'd love to have you on board. I'm looking forward on continuing and joining on some of these satellite trips where we go out and we ease LSU family incomers their minds and answer the questions. So thank you for letting me share, and hopefully you guys will join.
Thank you, Eric. That was wonderful. Also, I got to stare at your picture there for a minute, and I really appreciate your shoelaces, properly color coordinated. So we're going to turn it over to Kim. And Kim, you want to share your experiences?
All the way out from California.
All the way from California. Hello, everyone. Of course, my name is Kim McIntyre, and this is going on my second year. I've fulfilled 1 year. This is the second year. My daughter is a sophomore. She is a double major, journalism and public relations, but she told me the other day that she's thinking about doing law. So they have this 3+3 program, and she's thinking about that now. So I'm like, whatever. Okay, just as long as you come out of there happy. That's all that matters to me. I've known about LSU. Of course, being in California, the kids know nothing about the schools in the South. I was born and raised in North Carolina, so of course I'm going to know what's going on. But she became familiar with LSU actually at her school. They had, of course, college night. All the high schools have that, and LSU was there. They were there, and so she said, "Well, let's look into this, Mom. Da, 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 da. I said, okay. So we did college tours. We looked at the academics, and I have to tell you, it was the academics portion that won us over. Not only because LSU is known, you got all these athletes, da, 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 but did you know that LSU is one of 8 universities, and I'm going to read this to make sure I got it right. There's a law school, dental, medical, vet school, and a great MBA program. And that was key for her, okay? And the honors program, she's an honors program member, so that was key for Kathy. I joined the family council. It's the same thing someone mentioned earlier. I was really into PTA. I want to make sure that I knew what was going on, and I can communicate that to maybe to another parent who wasn't there and so forth. And let them know this is what's going on in the school. This is what we're looking to do. Someone came and spoke to us, and so forth. So with LSU, I found that not only am I getting the great communication, we're meeting the deans, we're meeting vice presidents, they're listening to concerns from the parents, they're making changes, they're bringing other, let's say the building, we have a brand new science building right now that's being built. Okay, they're making changes to better service your students, to guide your students. I've had the privilege to serve on the campus collaboration grant committee. I think it was number 2. I was on that committee. And it amazed me how the people who presented from LSU, they have so much passion in what they're doing and what they want to do for the students. And I thought that was just amazing. And I was honored to be on that committee. The other thing that's very fun is I was on the panel for the first Southern California orientation. They had one here, so people didn't have to fly out to Baton Rouge. We had one here at the hotel. Next year, we need to do 2 days, Lindsay, not 1, 2 days. Don't leave that alone. And I was able to answer questions for those parents. And I'm still on my cell phone. I have at least 10 to 12 parents I'm still communicating with just from that one meeting. They have questions. Well, how did you handle this, Kim? How is your daughter doing with this? Da, 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 da. And I can guide them with the right, information or point them in the right direction on the website to see, get their answer to help their student. So I encourage all of you to join. And like everyone said, it's not a 9 to 5. Okay. It's not a 9 to 5. But while you're here and you're doing it, put the time in. You will truly enjoy it. You will be amazed at everything that LSU is doing for the students and for the community. Let me put that out there, for the community. And you can ensure that you're giving the right communication to others. And that's the main reason why I joined, because there's a lot of California families out there. Like I said before, I'm in communication with a lot of them. They're asking me questions, and I am that person for them to guide them. So I encourage you to join the family council.
Well, thank you. Thanks, Kim. Thanks, Dana, Eric, Roxy, wherever you are. We are a family, and it is amazing how quickly that develops. The relationships that and the bonds that we make is a special gift from actually just being on the council. So we're going to turn it over to Lindsay. And she's going to have, yep.
Yes, thank y'all so much. I just get so full of pride when I get to hear our council members talk about their experience. And what I love tonight is that you were able to hear from our very seasoned veteran council members as they start to reflect on entering their Tigers, last semester and coming to the end of their time on family council and what an impact this experience has had on them. And then you also get to hear from some of our newbies who just have completed their first year, and they see all the opportunities that have been afforded to them so far and the kind of difference that we can make, and they're optimistic about the future. And I truly just value our council members so much because they each bring unique talents, and they really give us their all and their hard work and efforts to try to make a difference. And so it really is a family. I'm glad that you said that, Mike and Elaine. I think it's a special thing to be a part of the family council. And so I want to thank all of our council members for all of your really helpful input and insight. And, I think that family council is the right opportunity for you tuning in today. If you are someone who is passionate and enthusiastic, and you're looking for an opportunity to get involved and take those next steps, and you want to be really engaged, because our council members are a group of people who really want to be involved. And so if you're someone who wants to do that, then I think that this is a great opportunity for you. And I love that many of them mentioned it's not all business. Yes, we do a lot of really great work, and we're out at recruiting events and yield events and admissions events, and we're doing these meetings and representing the university. But also, we like to have a good time, and our family council members have lots of social events. It's just kind of the best of all worlds when you become a member of the family council. And so, how are you going to do that? Step one, as I mentioned, join the family association if you have not done so already. Super easy to do that. Step two is that you will see that the application for the family council is live now. And so you can look on our website. I have the link there. We'll put it in the chat in just a moment. Google LSU Family Council, and the family council application will pull up. It is a short application, but it's an opportunity for you to let us know who you are and why you really want to be considered for the family council. And so it has 2 short answer questions. I would love if you would give us as much information as possible in those questions to really help convey why you want to be considered to be a member of the family council. So that application is due on October 20th. You have a couple weeks to think about this, ask us questions, and go ahead and submit that application. Once October 20th passes and we have reviewed all of the applications that we have received, we will, go through them, look at the answers, really think about the target areas and regions around the country and spaces that we're trying to fill. We do expect this to be our largest incoming class of family council members, and we are looking for 20 to 25 new members. So that's going to be the biggest we've ever done before. But we have a lot of outgoing family council members, like you've heard from the Doddles and Roxanne and Dana and so many others. And so we're excited to bring on a really enthusiastic and passionate new group of 20 to 25 new council members. Once we look through those applications and we decide, who we are inviting to the third step, if you are invited to that, then you would need to make your $1,000 annual leadership gift. And that $1,000, as the Doddles mentioned a little bit earlier, can be broken up into installments. A lot of our families do, $100 a month for 10 months or whatever works best for you and your family. And that $1,000 leadership gift is what we use to help fund a lot of the initiatives that our family council oversees. That's what pays for our campus collaboration grants. It goes towards scholarships. It helps with different efforts that we have and the missions and purpose of the family council. So that $1,000 is a completely tax deductible leadership gift. And when you apply, I'll share this too, because we get this question a lot. You can apply as a single parent, you can apply, as one person, or you can apply as a duo. So, whatever works for you, it's just one application for your family, for whether you and or a partner or spouse. And then it's one $1,000 leadership gift for the whole family. So you don't have to pay if you have 2 council members, you don't have to pay that donation twice. So I know that, many of you have questions. And so I turned on the feature. If you want to turn on your camera, if you want to introduce yourself, ask a question aloud. That's why we're here. I know we've got some really eager family council members who want to help answer your questions. So let us know what you're thinking and how we can help support you. Anybody can tune in, and you can write it in the chat. You can turn on your video, unmute yourself, whatever you feel comfortable with.
Hi, good evening. My name is Ida McLean. I have 2 grandchildren attending LSU this year. Hello?
Yes, congrats. That's awesome. And I love the picture maybe of one of your grandbabies there.
That's their sibling. One is majoring is pre-med, and the other is doing veterinarian. And I'm from DC, and my daughter is also online. So my question is, once we get involved in it, I work at a high school. So I have a lot of students questioning about LSU. This is our first year there. When we did come down, I did enjoy myself. And I'm talking to my grandchildren, they're getting used to being away from home. And I love how y'all reach out to the parents. Other schools, they apply to other schools, but LSU has really, for me, communicate like a PTA for me because I was on the PTA while my grandchildren was at school.
All right, and I will take this moment to introduce myself. My name is Daima Wheaton. I am from Los Angeles, California, really El Segundo, but everyone knows Los Angeles, so we will use that. I am incredibly honored to be on this call, and hopefully, I've already submitted my application. Hopefully, we will be considered. My daughter is a first year at LSU. She was slated to go to school in California, and at the last minute, she told us that her heart is with LSU. And we decided to allow her to follow her heart. And by gosh, that was the absolute best decision for her and for us. For the short time that she has been there, she has blossomed. And if given the opportunity to spread that joy to any family that is interested in sending their child, to give them the opportunity to know the love and joy that LSU just provides to the entire family, I would love that. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you both so much. And I love, hearing from you and hearing your stories of what an impact LSU has already made on you. And obviously that's why many of you want to apply to be part of the Family Council to give back. And I am so thankful that several of you I have seen who are joining us tonight have already submitted your applications. It makes me really, really thrilled. We're excited to look through those once the application deadline passes. But thank y'all for joining us. If anyone else wants to introduce themselves or have a question and feel comfortable turning on your cameras, you are welcome to.
Hi, I'm not quite comfortable turning on my camera because on the East Coast, it's like not camera time anymore. I did have a question about something that was mentioned. I do have a junior at LSU as well as a freshman at LSU. I'm from the DC area. My junior at LSU, we've noticed move out the past couple of years. There's a lot that ends out in the dumpsters, a lot that really gets thrown in the trash. And I heard it was mentioned that there are collection efforts where those items actually could be repurposed and not end up in the trash and end up hopefully with people who can use them. That's fantastic. I was wondering if part of the council's goals would be to better message that to students and to families so they wouldn't get tossed there in the first place. Just curious about that, and I'm excited to put in my application very shortly after the call. Thank you.
So yes, we do communicate that each of the dorms has a collection point at the end of the semester. Or at the end of the year, right? The end. So in May, they'll have a collection point that's, I believe, open for 2 weeks. But yes, that is part of it that we would communicate it, and that the organization that collects that would also communicate that information. But that is done by dorm for a period of time, and they can also drop it off directly at the International Students Thrift Shop.
Yeah, the issue is the kids actually have to get it to the box or close enough to the donation site so that it's picked up.
Yeah.
So it is there, but we kind of have to kind of guide them there now to drop off all the wearable, all the good things that are still being able to be used, including pots and pans. Yeah.
Yeah, good to know. Good to know. Thank you.
Welcome.
And Sarah, and I love that you're sharing that. It's great perspective. So I love that you have 2 tigers here. Y'all are an LSU family. That's awesome. I say that last year was like our first big push. And so, your tiger would have been a sophomore at that point. So may have missed that, where we first really started partnering with the residence halls and International Cultural Center to have, more donation areas. But I appreciate your feedback. And that's part of being on Family Council from all of our council members. When they see something, when they hear something, they email it to me, they call me, they tell me about it, they share it with our office. And then that's valuable perspective for us to have as a university to know, okay, yeah, it's out there, but do enough people know about it? And how do we get the word out? And so that's the kind of enthusiasm and the kind of input and feedback that we're looking for, because that's an easy fix, right? If people just don't know about something, we can totally help spread the word. And so that's why we really lean on our council members to tell us, because, as a university, we think we're doing it all and we've got this, and this place. And what we're realizing a lot of times is that families don't even know about all of the many resources that are available. And so that's why council can be such a crucial part of this. So thank you.
Fantastic. Also, we were there for the family weekend. We brought our 4 younger children, 3 of whom have committed to become Tigers. So just so you know, you won't be rid of us anytime soon.
We have one family who had 3 students at LSU and was, they were members for 8 years. And that's, I think, the longest tenure of family council members we've had. But most council members, once they join, they're like, do I really have to have a Tiger still enrolled? Can I stay on it as an alum? Can my Tiger go to grad school? And, we can't get rid of our council members. And I think that's just like one more testament to how much they love the experience.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tanisha McLaughlin. First of all, thank you so much for the presentation. A lot of great information presented to help us make an informed decision about serving on the Family Council or applying to do so. Our Tiger is a freshman. Jacob, he is a communications major with a concentration thus far in political science or in public relations. So one question that I did have, or I should say what I really was moved by, and one of the reasons that I was interested in joining the council is one, to serve as a liaison, as was talking about. There's a lot of information that comes at you as a freshman parent. And you kind of have to weed through what's opinion and what's fact. And so that was one of the reasons that my husband and I were really interested in serving in this capacity. So thank you for the opportunity even to be plugged in this way. And looking forward to hearing more about some of the work that you all do and hopefully being a part. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanisha. Where are you from?
We are from Atlanta, Georgia. And that actually brings me back to my question. When you're thinking about people that are serving on the council, are you doing it based on demographics, or does that play a role to make sure that every region is represented? Thank you.
Geography is definitely consideration, yes.
And we love out of state as well as in state.
Right.
We need more families in Louisiana actually this year, right, Linz?
We do, yeah. So we always base our incoming class, of council members a lot on geography, also the responses in the application. And you're right, we have a lot of outgoing council members who are from Louisiana, so we always need people locally to serve. But we're also looking at those major markets where we have the most incoming students coming from out of state as well. And then how do we make sure that we have representation from family council in those areas? So it's kind of a whole thing, but yes. In state and out of state, we love them all the Tiger families. All right.
Any other questions? No?
Well, thanks to everybody who are here on the panel. I loved seeing all you guys because I already missed you from last weekend. So thanks for everybody for coming out tonight and listening to us. We hope you will consider applying and joining us. We are a fun group, and we're just excited to have you join us. So if you have any more questions, please just send them to Lindsay. And if you would like to talk to one of us, she'll get directly to us and we'll answer any questions you have. Just welcome. Thanks for being a Tiger.
Yes, thank y'all so much, everyone. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll send you a recording of this from tonight, as well as a follow-up email tomorrow with more details and the link to the application if you have not completed that yet. So thank y'all again. Of course, we wish the best of luck to your Tigers during midterms. Might be, especially if they're first-year Tigers, a little bit of stressful time right now, but we know you are supporting them from afar, and let us know how we can help you as well. Y'all have a great night. And of course, go Tigers.
Go Tigers. Thank you.
Thanks. Good night.
Have a great evening.
You too.